Welcome once again to another edition of Shelf Life Book Reviews Online. Thank you for once again stopping by to see the latest and greatest in fiction. First of all, I'm going to mention here, since I publish Shelf Life here locally in London and area, issue number 232 is available at quite a few bookstores and different locations around the city. It's got 59 book reviews. It's got so many people. It's got Michael J. Fox. It's got Dolly Parton, a book about Alex Trebek, Colin Jost, food, lots of fiction. So pick up a copy today. Okay, there's a shameless plug. But now to the books at hand. I'm bringing to your attention, as usual, two great fiction books. And definitely, if you're thinking of a list of fiction books for Christmas to give to friends, these two should be at the top of your list. The first is Stephen King, Billy Summers. This is published by Scribner, and it retails for $39.99. Stephen King has been writing since about 1975 or 76. He is timeless. He's an icon in the literary world, and you can never go wrong with a Stephen King book. Now, of course, when he began, he wrote pure horror, and he had some of the most horrific stories out there. The Shining, Salem's Lot, Christine, Cujo, the list goes on forever. But more recently, he's been into psychological and suspenseful horror. And Billy Summers, which is over 500 pages long, is definitely one of his best. It's a book with heart and soul, and you cannot help but fall in love with Billy Summers. He's a former war vet, and of the Iraqi War. He is a sniper, one of the best in the business. And when he comes back home, he becomes a hitman for a price, but not just any sort of hitman. He wants to terminate the lives of people who are bad. So he's sort of like an avenging angel of sorts. But as the book progresses, we find that he's been given a job to kill a really bad man, and he's to shoot him on the steps of the courthouse. So he takes on a new identity in the building across from the courthouse on the 5th floor. So he is supposed to be a writer. And as the time approaches, he plans it meticulously. He's going to cut out a piece of the window on the 5th floor, and when the bad guy comes, he will shoot him, which is what happens. He is hired by a mob boss by the name of Nick Majarian, and he pays well, but there's a bit of a double cross, which permeates the rest of the book. But anyways, what happens, Billy, in the neighborhood that he now lives in under an assumed identity, he's become one of the favorites there. People like him. He's a man who cares about others. And so anyways, to make a long story short, after he kills the man, he goes to another apartment that he has rented out. And there he looks out one night and he sees a girl being dumped from the back of a van. There's 3 men there, and they just dump her in the gutter. So he goes out to save her life, basically. She has been drugged and she's been raped by these 3 men. And it takes her a while to trust Billy because she doesn't know what happened, really. And Billy's there, and she thinks he's going to do the same thing. Her name is Alice, and she is quite a character. She is someone who you fall in love with too, because she has had a rough life. And together, the two of them, she finds out who Billy really is and that he was a hitman, but she's not afraid of him. He wants revenge on the man who double-crossed him, the mob boss who was going to pay him. They didn't pay him the full money of what he was supposed to get, so he wants revenge. But first of all, he gets revenge on the 3 men who raped and drugged Alice. So, and then he's on to the big job, getting revenge for what happened to him. So there's a lot going on. I don't want to spoil it all, but it's a bit of a sad ending, let's put it that way. But you cannot help but remember Billy Summers long after the book ends. Definitely one of Stephen King's best. So when you plan out your reading list or your gift buying list for Christmas, put Billy Summers, like I said, at the top of your list. The second book of interest is Cul-de-Sac by Joy Fielding. This is published by Doubleday Canada, and it retails for $32. Anyone who's read a Joy Fielding book knows that she creates quality characters, quality suspense, and this book ranks right up there with one of her best. It is very complex. It's maybe not what you think it's going to be, because the book opens with a murder. Someone is shot, and you start thinking, well, maybe we're going to, go and it'll be a secret who the shooter was. But anyways, the book sort of goes into a explanation of the 5 people who live on this cul-de-sac and how it all culminated in the shooting. There are 5 houses there, 5 people there. They're all very diverse. Among them are Nick Wilson and his wife Danny. He's a doctor, she's a dentist, and he is a very abusive husband. He is a very evil man. And another couple is Sean and Olivia. Sean lost his job, and he doesn't want to tell his wife that he still can't find a job. He lies to her that he supposedly found a job. So there's lies and deception. The third couple is Craig and Maggie. They've come there from another state. She had a run-in with someone, and she's very insecure, and actually she's driven Craig away from her life. Her daughter Erin is rebellious. She resents her mother, and she's a really snooty little teenager that you wish would be sent to Siberia, because she is just nasty to her poor mother. And her mother is doing her best to cope, but Erin will not give her a break. Another couple is there's an elderly lady called Julia who's in her 80s. Her husband died a couple of years ago, and her grandson Mark comes to live with her. Mark is sort of a deadbeat. He's a druggie, so he steals from her. He wants to steal her jewelry so he can pawn it to buy drugs. So it's very complex. And the last couple is Heidi and Aiden. He's a war vet with post-traumatic stress disorder. So they're 5 very diverse people. We find out their lives, what happens to them, what makes them tick. And it's like a little Peyton Place. Those remember Peyton Place, the TV show from the 60s. Everybody has a secret. Everybody has a scandal in their life. But the main story here is the abusive doctor husband. So I won't say who gets shot, but you can sort of surmise. But it is among Joy Fielding's best books. She really knows how to write, and oh, there goes my, excuse me while I pick up my little live TV. Okay, it's not TV. Anyways, but like I said, it is a very complex book, and if you like a real mystery with great characters, you definitely can't go wrong with Cul-de-Sac. So those are the 2 books that I wanted to draw to your attention. Hopefully when you're out, like I said, planning your Christmas gift list or your reading list for fall and winter, that these 2 books will be at the top of the list. So as always, I thank you for watching Shelf Life Book Reviews Online. Send me your comments and keep watching, because I'll be back again. So stay safe, stay sane, stay social distancing, and please do stay in touch. Bye for now.